Buckingham Palace highlights adorable moments from King Charles and Queen Camilla's visit to Bradford. Taking to its Instagram account on Thursday, May 15th, the royal family of the UK shared two posts, in which they dropped several glimpses from the royal couple's delightful new trip. In the first post, the royals dropped a video that featured the British monarch and queen consort's visit to the recently regenerated Bradford Live a live music venue in the English city. During the visit, Charles and Camilla met the alumni of the King's Trust, including magician Stephen Frayne, who showcased his impressive tricks in front of the royal couple. The King and Queen have visited the recently regenerated Bradford Live, where they joined a reception with local artists and young people who have been supported by King's Trust, including alumni Stephen Frayne, formerly known as Dynamo, who managed to change all of the Wi-Fi names, captioned Buckingham Palace. In the clip, Their Majesties were also seen watching rehearsals and engaging with young pupils of Sing, Dance and Leap, an education program run by Northern Ballet and Opera North across the city. Meanwhile, the second post featured a carousel of sweet photographs from King Charles and Queen Camilla's visit to the David Hockney Gallery, dedicated to the artist's life and career. During the visit, the monarch also met people involved in grassroots cultural activities and local community groups. His Majesty also saw a performance by the Bantam of the Opera Choir, a group of local Bradford City Football Club fans taught to sing opera by BBC Radio Leeds during Bradford City of Culture Year, shared the palace. King Charles and Queen Camilla's visit to Bradford. King Charles and Queen Camilla marked their presence in Bradford today, on May 15, 2025, to attend the 2025 City of Culture. King Charles III bans wet wipes and foie gras from Buckingham Palace. Unusual decisions have defined King Charles III's oversight of Buckingham Palace. Amid strict rules and enduring traditions, the monarch has startled many by banning two seemingly ordinary items that reflect his environmental and ethical priorities. Wet wipes and foie gras, objects some might consider trivial, have been officially prohibited, sparking discussions among palace staff and the public. The move aligns with the King's focus on ecological concerns and animal welfare, issues he has championed for decades. The ban on wet wipes addresses practical challenges faced within the palace. Meanwhile, the prohibition of foie gras underscores an ethical stance, echoing campaigns by animal rights organizations. These decisions, though peculiar, highlight the monarch's intent to align palace operations with modern values. Buckingham Palace, the official residence of the British monarchy, has become a stage for changes that extend beyond royal pomp. The new rules, enforced since the start of Charles III's reign, reveal a king attentive to details, even if it means banning everyday essentials. Reasons behind the wet wipes ban. Wet wipes, widely used for personal hygiene and cleaning, were outlawed at Buckingham Palace after causing significant plumbing issues. Staff report that, despite being labeled flushable, these products do not break down like toilet paper, clogging pipes. The problem, which led to frequent repairs, prompted the King, a noted environmental advocate, to take action. The ban also reflects concerns about the environmental impact of wet wipes. Made with plastic fibers, they contribute to pollution in rivers and oceans, a cause Charles III has addressed for years. The measure has been well received by maintenance teams, who report fewer calls for unclogging pipes since its implementation. Foie gras and animal welfare concerns. The second banned item, foie gras, surprised many due to its symbolic weight. This delicacy, made from the fattened liver of ducks or geese, involves controversial production methods. Charles III, responding to criticism from groups like PETA, chose to remove foie gras from palace menus. The decision, announced quietly, reinforces the King's commitment to animal welfare. The foie gras ban aligns with broader trends in the United Kingdom. Several restaurants and supermarket chains had already phased out the product following activist pressure. At Buckingham Palace, the change was implemented discreetly, but earned praise from animal protection groups. Staff confirmed that the King is exploring sustainable alternatives for official meals, maintaining the elegance expected of royal events. Strict rules and palace daily life. Daily operations at Buckingham Palace are governed by meticulous regulations that go beyond Charles III's bans. Employees describe an environment where every detail, from staff uniforms to meal schedules, is carefully orchestrated. The wet wipes ban, for instance, required adjustments in cleaning practices, with greater reliance on reusable cloths. Charles III's management also emphasizes waste reduction. Disposable items, such as plastic cups, have been replaced with biodegradable options. These small changes reflect the king's vision of making the palace a model of sustainability. Maintenance teams have undergone training to comply with the new guidelines, ensuring daily operations adhere to the established rules. Internal reactions to the ban's Charles III's decisions have elicited mixed responses among palace staff. Some employees, particularly in cleaning crews, welcomed the wet wipes ban, which has simplified their work. Others, however, viewed the measure as excessive, arguing that high-quality toilet paper already met the palace's needs. The foie gras ban also sparked debate. Seasoned chefs mourned the loss of a traditional ingredient, but acknowledged the need to align menus with contemporary values. One chef, speaking anonymously, noted that the palace now prioritizes plant-based dishes, many inspired by the king's personal tastes. History of bans in the British monarchy. Bans at Buckingham Palace are not unique to Charles III. During Queen Elizabeth II's reign, certain foods like garlic were avoided at banquets to prevent discomfort for guests. Charles III, however, has taken restrictions to a new level, incorporating environmental and ethical concerns. The foie gras ban builds on a precedent set by Charles when he was Prince of Wales. In 2008, he prohibited the product at his residences, including Clarence House. The current decision, applied to Buckingham Palace, solidifies his stance against practices he deems cruel. Financial benefits of the measures. The wet wipes ban has delivered financial advantages for the palace. Internal reports indicate that plumbing repair costs have dropped significantly since the measure was introduced. In a single year, the palace saved thousands of pounds, funds that were redirected to other areas, such as garden maintenance. The foie gras ban, while less impactful financially, also reduced costs. The product, often imported from countries like France, was expensive. Replacing it with local ingredients or vegetarian dishes has lowered expenses without compromising the quality of royal events. Changes to royal menus. The absence of foie gras has paved the way for culinary innovation at Buckingham Palace. Charles III, a longtime advocate for organic foods, has encouraged menus that showcase produce grown on royal estates, such as Highgrove. Plant-based dishes, like mushroom risottos and vegetable tarts, have become staples at official receptions. Palace chefs have undergone training to adapt traditional recipes to the new requirements. Seasonal, locally sourced ingredients are now prioritized, aligning banquets with the king's sustainable vision. Guests at recent events, including diplomats and heads of state, have praised the quality and creativity of the updated menus. Sustainability as a priority. The bans on wet wipes and foie gras are part of a broader set of sustainable initiatives led by Charles III. The king, a decades-long advocate for environmental preservation, has introduced measures like solar panels at Buckingham Palace. Electric vehicles have also been added to the royal fleet, reducing carbon emissions. Waste management at the palace has been overhauled to minimize non-recyclable materials. Items like wet wipes, which complicate recycling, have been replaced with eco-friendly alternatives. These changes strengthen Charles III's image as a monarch dedicated to the planet's future. Public debate over the ban's Charles III's decisions have captured public attention in the United Kingdom. On social media, the wet wipes ban sparked memes and humorous comments, with many questioning its significance. The foie gras ban, however, received support from activists, who see it as a meaningful step against animal cruelty. Newspapers like The Guardian and The Times published articles examining the bans, noting the contrast between the simplicity of the items and the symbolism of their exclusion. While some readers praised the king's stance, others dismissed the measures as royal eccentricities. Other quirks of the reign beyond the bans. Charles III has introduced subtle changes to palace routines. The king, a fan of classical music, has increased the frequency of concerts in the ballroom, using these events to promote young talent. He also maintains an organic garden in the palace grounds, supplying the royal kitchen. Staff report that the monarch is meticulous, overseeing even the floral arrangements for receptions. While some admire this attention to detail, others find the demands excessive, leading to occasional complaints among employees. Influence on other royal residences. Charles III's bans extend beyond Buckingham Palace. Other royal residences, such as Sandringham and Balmoral, have adopted similar rules. In Sandringham, wet wipes were also phased out, while Balmoral has prioritized vegetarian menus for private events. And these changes reflect the consistency of the King's vision, which seeks to standardize sustainable practices across all royal properties. Staff at these residences have been instructed to implement the new guidelines, ensuring compliance with the bans. Environmental legacy of Charles III. The measures at Buckingham Palace reflect Charles III's long-standing commitment to sustainability. Since the 1970s, the King has championed environmental causes, becoming one of the first royals to address climate change publicly. His current decisions, including the bans on wet wipes and foie gras, are seen as extensions of this legacy. Organizations like the WWF and the Soil Association, where Charles III serves as a patron, have praised the palace's initiatives. Representatives from these groups noted that the bans, though symbolic, encourage other institutions to adopt more responsible practices.